You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'.
What is going down? What is going down? This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the show, welcome. If you're into anime, nerd culture, most importantly, video games, you come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. This is podcast episode 421. Got a few things I want to go over quickly. I got Ghost of YOTEI to talk about. I've got a couple releases down the pipeline I want to talk about. Some 2025 Video Game Award nominations. Gonna go over that. And some Steam Machine updates as well. Gonna talk about some prices. And last but not least, we're going to talk about AI and its influence on the gaming community. Okay. Yeah, that's what we got today. It's going to be short and sweet. I haven't had time to do anything, guys. The holidays are coming up. I also want to wish everybody a happy holiday, whether you're staying at home, whether you're going to visit relatives, whatever you're going to do, guys, have a good one. Eat some turkey, eat some ham, eat whatever it is you want to make. I was going to barbecue. I was going to do something crazy. Still might. But we're doing turkey, ham. I'm debating if I want to barbecue chicken or fry some chicken. I don't know yet, guys, but we're doing it at the house this time. Usually we go to my parents' house, we kick it, we do our thing. They're going out of town themselves. So, we usually try to get together twice, between 2 and 4 times a year. Usually at my dad's house, man, he's got a big, nice, beautiful house, and we try to meet up over there. And we're going to be doing that January 1st. But as far as Thanksgiving and Christmas, everybody's doing their own thing and we're going to be at the crib. So it's all good. I kind of like it that way in a sense because this is going to be the first Thanksgiving that I didn't have to go anywhere. I actually stay in my own spot. Same thing for Christmas. So, I'm kind of looking forward to just staying in the house, chilling, maybe having a little taste, a little alcohol, a little something, and then, sitting in the man cave and just doing whatever I want to do. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. And I'm going to start with Ghost of YOTEI. But before I get there, no anime watch list, guys. Like I said, I had no time to watch anything. The closest I've come to anime is right before bed, and I was watching old shit. I was watching Chivalry of a Failed Knight last couple days. And, I really love that anime. And I'll just say it for people who are into anime. If you don't know about Chivalry of a Failed Knight, it's one of those sneakers, the ones that sneak up on you. And I don't know what it did to me. I don't know why. I just really love this anime. Went out and bought it as well. And it's flawed in the sense that it never finished. Okay. So when you watch it, the cool thing about this anime is you can end it if you watch the last episode. So technically, if you said all I have is what they produced, anime wise, then that's fine. I mean, it ends on a pretty dope end, but the story continues in the manga. And after figuring out how all that went down, I'm actually pretty pleased about that as well. It's just so good. The anime is so good. It'll probably never come out with the second part of it. anime wise, but it's okay. And that's what I mean by flawed, but I still love it. And, you know, I found myself watching that this past week because, like I said, it's cool to turn something on that I've seen before. And, you know, if I'm going to bed, because I have no time. By the time I'm in bed, it's like, yo, if you're not sleeping the next 30 minutes, you're going to be sleep deprived the next day. So I put on something that I've already seen and something that I like. And that's what I typically do. Okay. There's another one I watch, a movie, which is, Four Christmases. I don't know if you guys know that movie, but it's a Vince Vaughn movie. I'm a huge Vince Vaughn fan. I love this guy, man. I love all his shit. I just love his comedy, his delivery, all that shit. He's a special guy to me. So really fuck with him as well. So, you know, that's what I've been watching this past week, guys. That's it. Between those two, and I've just been dozing off. But anyway, I want to talk about the Ghost of YOTEI. We got some good news, guys, if you're Ghost of YOTEI fans out here. And I'm still playing because so much shit came out in the midst of me finishing this game. So, you know, I haven't even finished yet. So I think I have two more of the YOTEI 6 to kill. And then I'm done as far as doing that. But to my surprise, the New Game Plus is out. I think it's on the 24th. So I think this is, as I'm recording this, it is the 24th or the 23rd. I can't remember. I think it's the 23rd right now. I'm bad with dates, guys. But I think the 24th is on a Monday. We get New Game Plus. And the cool thing about New Game Plus in this game, it comes with a lot of goodies, man. And I'm going to go down the list for you a little bit. We got progression carryover, start a new playthrough with all of your skills, techniques, armor, weapons from your first game. That's always a plus. Now you got harder difficulties. Okay. For you gluttons for punishment, you got new difficulty options that will be added, such as lethal plus, to provide a greater challenge, probably one-hit kills and shit like that. We also have new currency. A new currency called Ghost Flowers will be introduced, earned by completing challenges and spent with a new vendor. So I'm guessing this vendor is going to have new shit for us. Segue down to new cosmetics. The Ghost Flower can be exchanged for over 30 new cosmetic items, including new armor sets and weapon dyes. So there you have it. Just like I said, that's awesome. When it comes to drip in Ghost of YOTEI games, yo, they don't miss. They really don't fucking miss. And this is no exception. New charms. Over 10 new charms will also be available to purchase. So they already have some dope charms. I know I haven't gotten all of them, guys. I know that I'm still leaving a lot of these on the table, but you can put together some pretty dope builds with these charms. And I'm really, really anxious to see what kind of charms they're going to have that I haven't seen yet. And there's probably still some dope ones that I haven't found yet. So that's always going to be cool. I wonder if you gotta start New Game Plus for it. I'm assuming you do. You have to beat the game, the story, and then continue. So that's cool. So for me personally, it's kind of like, should I just go and finish the story and then come back? Cause there's still a lot of stuff for me personally to do after, you know, if I just go to the story. Like there's a lot of camps, there's stuff like that I, you know, there's a lot of goddamn me bounties that I haven't done. So I'm looking forward to that. And a lot of people say they wish they would have waited and just went to the story and did all the other stuff kind of afterwards. But now with New Game Plus, you can kind of do that. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing, guys. I think that's the direction I'm going to take. Anyway, let's move on. Upgraded gear. An additional tier of upgrades will be available for existing armor and weapons. So I'm wondering what that's going to actually entail. We'll see. Who knows? New trophies. 2 new trophies will be added. That's awesome. Other update additions. Replayable challenges. The ability to replay missions from the post game will stat track. And wow, that's dope. It's going to have stat tracking and displays. That's cool. Photo mode improvements. New features like stutter speed and composition grid and new filters will be added. That's awesome. And then a new accessibility options. New options include directional button remapping. Oh, that's dope. So you can put together almost everything, you know, to the T of how you want to play this game. I think that's going to be awesome. But yeah, man, so you got a lot of cool additions here with the New Game Plus mode on that. And I love New Game Plus mode, especially for games you actually absolutely love. It's always an extra incentive to get the game then. And I didn't even get finished with the game and it came out. So that's awesome as well, you know? So yeah, man, that's the thing when you're a gamer, when you try to play a lot of games, when you have the time, I'm like a ping pong ball sometimes. I'm jumping from game to game. There's some games that just keep you there, keep you seated, don't let you get up and move until you finish that game. For me, it was Final Fantasy 16. It was God of War games. And just because you don't finish a game in one sitting doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing either. It's just sometimes there's so many games that come out and you find yourself kind of torn. You finish as much as you can on one and then you jump to another one that's coming out that you've been anticipating as well. I mean, I found myself in these type of situations as well. Armored Core 6 is another game I sat down and beat multiple times. Love fucking Armored Core 6. And, the list goes on and on. But these are games that I just absolutely love and adore. And Ghost of YOTEI is no different. It's just shit had came out. Shit was coming out. Now, the first Ghost of Tsushima, that one I definitely sat down and finished the whole thing and didn't play with anything else either. I think that game was just a breath of fresh air when it first came out. It was just, I don't know. I can't explain it. There was nothing like it, man. And I think when the second one came out, you felt that from the first game, but you didn't have that same blast that you had when you first saw it for the first time with Tsushima, because it was unbelievably so good to where I just couldn't believe that it was on the PlayStation 4 like this, a base PS4, and it was looking like it was and playing like it was, man. I mean, same thing. You can say the same thing about Aloy and that series over there as well. Just so many great games. But anyway, that's the New Game Plus update. Let's move on down and let's talk about some some upcoming games on the Game Pass that I'm personally looking forward to that I didn't even see coming. And one in particular is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. It's a beat 'em up. If you guys know me, you know I love my beat 'em ups. And then put a Marvel sticker on that, guys. You got me. Played the demo on the Steam Deck and loved it. I think you get the first 2 levels free. You can play through and you can, play it over and over again, select different characters. I didn't even use all the characters. I think I played through it one time and I had Captain America and I had Storm, and I didn't get a chance to play anybody else. I would like to. And of course, you don't get all the characters in the demo. I think you get like 5 or 6 to choose from, something like that, which is still cool. The list is pretty cool, man. The list is pretty decent. I'm looking forward to playing as Black Panther. I'm looking forward to playing as Captain America, who's my favorite character in the Marvel Universe. Black Panther is another character up there I really love. Beta Ray Bill was announced for this game, so I can't wait to play him. I also love Storm from X-Men, so I had to try her. And there's a lot of dope characters. I think there's some other ones as well. My son was like, he's looking forward to playing some characters as well. I think Ghost Rider, which is another awesome character. So it's a pretty substantial list. Now, will they add more characters? I don't know. It's a pretty robust roster as it stands. No Hulk though, which is crazy. They have She-Hulk, but no Hulk. That's just, maybe they add him later. I don't know. I know there's a lot of Hulk fans who are probably going to be, having something to say about that. But anyway, it's an awesome beat 'em up, guys. Definitely should be checked out. I don't know if there's a demo anywhere else, but I know Steam has a demo. There wasn't one on PlayStation. I don't think there's one on Xbox. I don't even know if it's coming out on Xbox. I think it will, but that's why Steam is so cool. Some of the perks of Steam is you get a lot of these demos when, no one else is going to be giving them to you. They throw out a shit ton of demos. All right. Just a whole bunch of games you can just try out, a whole bunch of games that are, in development. It's kind of a double-edged sword because a lot of these games are still in development and they stay in developmental hell, or they just stay there forever because you got small teams and, they're taking their time and all of that. So you'll play some awesome, games that are kind of demos, and some of them aren't even demos. They're just early access and they're really awesome. They're really good. It's just, you don't know when the actual game is going to come out. Like, there's this really dope game. One of my favorite beat 'em ups that I've played since I can remember. Recently, and it's called Pizza Kid. If you're a Steam player or, you want to check this one out. It's called Pizza Kid. It's fucking awesome. It is amazing. And it's in early access, and I don't know when the guy is going to finish it, but as soon as he finishes this game, I'm buying it day one. Like, it is that good. And you have games like that. So there's so many games like that. And so you can lose track and, a year go by and say, hey, guess what? So-and-so is finished now. You can go get it. So that's cool. Like I said, Steam, from what my time spent with Steam for the most part, has been positive, right? If you can get past just from turning on the device and then being able to play it, you're good, because it's not as simple as just buying a game, getting the Steam Deck or a PC and, oh, I'm going to play Steam now. No, there's steps that need to be taken. But once you get past those steps, you're good. But some people, especially if you're really not computer savvy and you really don't like doing none of that, you're going to have a hard time kind of doing that. So I think Steam is the sweetest and the most entry level friendly of a lot of these, you know what I'm saying? So that's the cool thing about it. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the Steam Deck and just Valve in general, in two shakes of a lamb's tail. But the game Marvel Cosmic Invasion is coming out December 1st. So it's right around the corner, about a week away. And it's cool because my son has an Xbox in there and we can play. We don't even have to share, you know, the same screen. He can be in his screen and I can be on mine. But we love playing beat 'em ups together. We definitely have a lot of fun doing that. So that game's going to be awesome. I was going to buy it, but if it's on Game Pass, hey, you know, wait for it for a sale now and play it on Game Pass. But the other game I was looking forward to that caught my attention was a game that goes by the name of Banishers Ghost of New Eden. Now, this was a game I had my eye on for a while. I was actually talking to a friend and we were talking about Black Friday games and, you know, games we have on our list. Cause I have a little list and we were talking about games that we might pick up if the price is right. And this is one of the games on my list. This is one I never got a chance to play, but I always thought the story looked good. I always thought the gameplay looked good. And the more that I kind of look at it and watch, I'm that much more intrigued by that game. And I think the reason why I didn't play this is because there were just a lot of games coming out at that time. And we've all been there where it's a crazy month of games and maybe even a crazy couple of months and you're just drowning in games and you're trying to decide, number one, which one you have time for. Number two, how much money can you spend? So you got to take those two factors into consideration, make your decision. And then there's always going to be some left outside of the club, left outside of the circle, if you will. And you always tell yourself, oh, I'll get back to these. I'll come back around. I'll circle back around. And usually if it does happen, it doesn't happen immediately. Usually it's a year from now, 2 years sometimes, or you get a Black Friday and you see these sales and these deals and you go there, you know, some digital and some not. You know, you might say, oh shit, $9.99 right now for 2 days. Boom. Let's pick that up. You know, I'm a physical guy, so, you know, but this one's on Game Pass and it's free. So I'll get a chance to try it out. It's kind of like GameFly. You know, you're paying that monthly subscription. You can try it out. If it's really that special, go ahead and buy it. Kind of like how Expedition 33 was. I played that game and loved it. Still didn't, I beat the story, but I still haven't done everything and it's still on my Xbox right now. And I am buying the one that comes out for the PlayStation 6, the physical, the special edition version. So that's what I'm getting. My wife is going to get that for me and she doesn't even know it yet, but she's getting it. And so, you know, stuff like that, you know, you get a game that just kind of just does something to you like Expedition 33 has, then you're like, okay, I didn't get a chance to play it physically, but I had a chance to demo it, play it, and I love it. Let's make this happen. So that's kind of a scenario I'm in with that. And hopefully this game here, Banishers, does the same thing. And I'm quite sure that Marvel Cosmic Invasion will. That's just going to be a shit ton of fun. But anyway, these are the two games right now. And that one is coming out on the 25th. So Tuesday, I think that's the correct day. So Tuesday. So it's perfect. I'll get a chance to play it one day, you know, before I go back into work and yeah, have some time with it. So yeah, really looking forward to these games and not like I have anything else to play that I haven't had time to play. So I still have Where Winds Meet, which I haven't really had a chance to play too much of. I got in there a little bit, but that game has a lot of potential. It really does. So, I mean, it's on my PlayStation. I'm definitely going to get some game time in probably this next coming weekend because like I said, the holidays, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, all this shit, guys, in the air. And I have a crazy work schedule this upcoming week. So once I get to Friday, then we're cool. Cause I'm off on Thanksgiving, but I work the day before and I work the fucking day after. if that makes any sense. You know, they're like half days, but they're still fucking days. So if I have to get up and go out of the house, I don't care if it's just for 2 hours. To me, that's work. Okay. When I can stay in and just, do what I want to fucking do, that's saying I'm off. So Friday, I usually work Saturday and Sunday. I'm giving you guys a lot of information. I'm sorry. But I usually work on the weekends, and this will be my first weekend that I can remember that I didn't have to fucking work. So that's going to be cool. Anyway, there you have it. Those are the upcoming game releases on Game Pass. I don't know, man. Every time I get ready to count Game Pass out, or I'm feeling a type of way, I mean, they come back with some shit. I mean, you got Ninja Gaiden, you got Outer Worlds 2, which I still haven't finished, haven't even gotten into. Now you got Banishers coming up. You also got Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Yeah, man. And then you got Call of Duty if you're into that shit. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm not, but some people are. A lot of people are. You know, you have things to play. You have things to choose, right? So, I mean, right now for me, it's, you know, and I have 2 Xboxes in the house. So, you know, it's definitely worth it for me. Some people might think, okay, I don't have 2. I got 1. And that's understandable too. It just depends on how much you play. That's really what I'm saying. How much do you have to play? So that's where I'm at right there. And let's move on and let's talk a little bit about this 2025 Video Game Award nomination list. Okay. And this is just a nomination list for Game of the Year. You know, everything else to me is cool, but, you know, I'm just looking at Game of the Year, and there may be a couple other ones. If I had to choose besides Game of the Year, I would choose maybe sound or music. And I think personally, I'm calling it that Game of the Year. Let me give you the nominations first for Game of the Year. I think we all know Expedition 33 is going to be on this list, and they are. Death Stranding 2 is another game on this list. Donkey Kong Bonanza is on this list. Hades 2 is on this list. Hollow Knight Silksong is on this list. And Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is also on this list. So you got some pretty nice games on here that are on this list. And I heard some people say, you know, Arc Raiders should be on that list or whatever. I mean, you know, I don't know about that, but definitely Arc Raiders is an awesome game. Please don't get it twisted. Definitely having my fun on that, and I have more to show. And also, on a side tangent, guys, I think it started raining outside. So if you hear the little rain in the background, please excuse that. I'll edit it best I can, but it's kind of cool to have a little rain in the background. But that's what's happening now. So just giving you guys a little side tangent on that. But anyway, these are the nominations, and you know, for me, Expedition 33 all the way. I'm calling that. And I'm also calling Expedition 33 for best soundtrack. Now, that's the only one that might lose, only because they feel like they may not want to give everything to Expedition 33. I think they've been nominated like 12 times, 11 or 12 nominations. So they're walking out of here. They're going to walk out of here with at least 6 of these. 6 out of these 12 guys, I think Expedition 33 is walking out. So I'm going to revisit this at a later date because the Video Game Awards are out December 11th. And I don't know what day that's on, but the podcast after that date, of course, I'm going to be breaking it down and talking about it. And of course, the cool thing about Video Game Awards also that most people are looking forward to is the new game announcements. Okay. Updates on certain games that are, you know, coming out at a later date, or just new games, period. Right. There's a lot of games I'm looking forward to. The Wolverine game I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to Naughty Dog's next projects. I say 2, plural, because we all know about Intergalactic, but there's another one they've been working on for about 3 years now. And they say this is going to be another AAA game. So I'm scratching my head on that one because I don't know what franchise this is from, if it's one that's already existing or if it's something else that they just been working on in the background. So I'm really looking forward to that. Everybody's saying that Intergalactic is not going to release until 2027, which is a bummer. And it leads me into, I could go into a whole nother conversation about that and how now we're leaning towards, when it comes to video games, guys, less and less exclusives. I mean, you can see it, the writing's on the wall. That kind of died with the PlayStation 4, you know, when the PlayStation 5 came out. And I mean, I hate to admit that, but that's just what it is. Well, we're getting, you know, 3, you know, on average about 3 to 4 if we're lucky. If we're lucky, we get 4. But, you know, we're getting on average about 3 exclusives a year now from Sony, you know, companies. And that's just, the nature of the beast, guys, because as more and more time goes by, more and more ways to play games increases. We get more systems, more handhelds, consoles, things of that nature. They're coming out. You got the Steam box, you got the Steam machine, whatever you want to call it. That's coming out. Okay. Xbox claims they got something else coming out. Sony's got something coming out again. And who else knows what else is coming out down the pipeline? We got a shit ton of handhelds though for retro games and of the such and everything else in between. So when that happens, that basically means, hey, as a publisher, as a game developer, there's so many more options on that table, whether you do an exclusive deal or not. Okay. What you're seeing now is games coming out and then coming out later on everything, right? Because it's just too much money from a business standpoint to put and leave on the table. Nobody wants to do that. If I made a game from my system, and I know that there's 6 other ways that could play this game. There's 6 other machines that this thing could be on. What am I going to do as a businessman? Am I going to say, this only stays here? Or am I going to say, well, it stays here for a year or 6 months, and then everybody else can go have it. So you make your money that first year, that first 6 months. And then when it starts to dry up and most people have already bought it, then you can re-release it into the wild full price and you can get another trail of money coming in. I mean, it's only the smart thing to do. I mean, if any business company was doing that, which most of these companies are now, you technically can't be mad. Now as a gamer, you're looking at it from both sides. You're looking at it from the other side. And I understand that as well, because, a lot of people love their exclusives. That's what made them fall in love with that said company, that said system. But those days are dying. Those days are becoming, less and less, of a thing. And I guess for somebody like me who's been there from the beginning and is here now and has watched all this kind of transform, I guess it's just something that I'm going to have to accept. And, it is what it is. I mean, I can be thankful and grateful for the consoles I do love, like my Nintendo 64, my Sega Saturn, my Dreamcast, my PSP, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. My PS3, you can love those things and love what they did, but you can still respect, where they're going in the future. Sometimes it's hard to do that because as a Sony fan now, especially now, watching this and being used to or accustomed to getting so many things, and then all of a sudden watching that well just run dry right in front of you, it kind of feels, it feels strange. Okay. It feels like somebody just opened up a tub of butter on someone's counter. And that's what it feels like sometimes. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but yeah, it does. So it is what it is. You just got to accept it and move on. And I think that's just where we're at right now, guys. I mean, there's a lot of kids out here who never knew, physical games for the most part. That, all they knew is, I like this game, is download it. Right. And that's just how they move. And that's just, sometimes I think we fail to remember that. And I think we got to be cognizant of the whole platform, everybody, all the fans. And I think that's sometimes we seem to forget that sometimes, but it's just a harsh reality. That is where that's headed. Now, I kind of want to talk about the the Steam machine, shall I say. Last week, we talked about prices. I talked a little bit about what I thought it was going to be. And watching more videos, listening to people talk and digging a little deeper into this, with a heavy heart, I'm going to have to say that this machine is probably going to be more so toward, around $800. I was hoping more of a $500, and that's what most people are hoping or saying. Hey, we want this to be closer to $500. But if I'm a realist, guys, it's not. We're looking more of like an $800 thing, I think personally, is what it is. So you're going to have to be ready to spend this. And when you think about where the current market is right now, even in consoles, because these guys are actually trying to compare this more so to a PC than a console. And they actually said that verbatim. They want it to be more of a PC. And if you're thinking more of a PC, then the price of $800, it fits that kind of framework. Now, consoles, yeah, you could say $500, but another year from now, guys, you can't even say that with these consoles, because these console prices have already rose by crazy numbers, and they apparently are not done yet. Okay. Apparently Xbox is going to do another price hike on some shit. So it's getting real crazy out here. Okay. Yeah, it's these tariffs and all this other shit out here is really making shit difficult for gamers who are trying to be console gamers right now. So it depending on what this price is, because we still don't know exactly. We still haven't heard from Valve, but I wouldn't be surprised if they said $800, $799.99. Okay. Anything else, anything higher than that, man, would definitely make me just say, nah, I'm good for now. I'll wait, or find an alternative to that, because there's a shit ton of alternatives out there, to be honest with you, that you could get and do some of the same things if you're wanting to, use that for your Steam library and play games off of that. So it just depends on what you're actually trying to do. If you're trying to play AAA games, okay, there's some things out there you can pick up, some of these boxes that you could get, if you want 60 frames, 1080, there's a lot of shit you can pick up and run away with. Like I don't even have a 4K TV, and a lot of people still don't. And so, I don't even need 4K. So 1080, 60 frames for me, hey, that's a sweet spot. If you can keep me there, hey, we're cooking. And I'd even go as far as to say, you know what, give me 45. And if it's a great, smooth, buttery smooth 30 frames per second, I can tolerate that. So I'm not spoiled. I'm not a spoiled gamer, guys. I mean, I still play Nintendo Switch, and that's mostly 30. I mean, still play a lot of 30 frame games. I'm not a PC guy. I'm not accustomed to those 120 frames, and I don't play that shit and over there. So it's not the same for me as it is for Tony or Jason. So, it's just different. So I'm cool with that, and you can get a lot of boxes out there for around $350, $400 that can give you those results, for that. So, I'm going to pick the better option. I'm always going to pick the better option. Would I like to have the Steam on? Yeah, sure. I would. I would definitely like to go there first, but let's also keep it 100, because this thing is going to sell out. All right. We're talking about Valve, who is not publicly traded. They are a private company, right? So, which is a good thing and a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. They are definitely going to be putting out a waiting list. There's going to be a waiting list for this thing when it does come out. Let's just keep that 100. So anybody who wants it day one, you're going to have to get it. They're going to be scalping these things as well, when people can get their hands on them. But just be careful and just realize that that's what you're going to be looking for. Don't assume that it's going to be there, because it's not. You're going to have to do some waiting anyway. So it just depends on what it is, what you're trying to do. I mean, I remember when Steam Deck, I had to buy my shit from a third party because, their website, they were out of them for a while. So sometimes they'll be out and you have to sit there and wait, 3 weeks. You could wait a month, 2 months. It just depends. And that's what we're going to be probably looking at here with this machine when it comes out. So really the price is once we get that price, then you can really start putting some things together. But until we get that price, guys, I mean, it's kind of throwing everybody off, but people are assuming it's going to be around that price tag of 800. So don't be surprised. And a lot of people saying if it's over 500, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. And hey, that's how you feel. It's cool. There's other ways to enter, if you want to get into Steam, like I said, there's so many alternatives, guys. That Chinese market is crazy. So you can take your $300, probably $300 right now. And you can get some of this shit, depending on what it is. But a lot of this stuff is going to change though. And I kind of want to segue into this because AI is really taking over, and AI is making it hard for a lot of people in the job market. And it's going to make it hard for gamers apparently as well. Because if you guys know anything about AI, I mean, those chips, those NVIDIA chips, all that shit over there, there's a lot that goes into, that. And there's a lot of things that people are trying to get done, and they need AI to do it. So apparently there's a lot of people who are bloodthirsty for these data centers. Okay. And what people are doing now, companies are doing now, are building these data centers, these giant data centers with a bunch of AI computers. But of course, with AI computers, you need certain chips, and you need these things to make these things run. So apparently they're going to be taking about 40% of the chips worldwide. Okay. And they're going to be using them on these data centers. for their AI. And basically they're going to leave the rest of the world to fight over that last 60%. The whole world. No, I'm not talking about just countries. Okay. This is the entire world, because everybody's trying to get into AI and use AI in their own countries and things of that nature. So you have a bottleneck effect with this type of stuff. Prices are already going up. Okay. People have already started naming chips and different pieces of PC building that have kind of put them at a standstill, because the prices have a lot of times doubled in what they're asking for now. So that's what's going to be happening here in the future. So we have that to look forward to. And we're not even talking about tariffs. So you add that into the equation, and it's just a shit show when it comes to technology and where it's going. Unless you're invested in these companies, it's going to be hell, especially if you're somebody who wants or is trying to get into, this market, and you're wondering, yesterday, it was $100. Now, why is it $230? That's why. Okay. And that's going to be what we're going to be looking at in 2026. And, who knows after that, how much longer after that. So that's what this effect has on a lot of people, and not just gamers. I mean, you're talking about cell phones, you're talking about cars, all these devices that use these chips for memory and use these chips for other things. This is all going to take that hit, and we just have to be ready for it. Now, Sony claims that, hey, we saw this coming and we took preventative measures, and we got a lot of shit when it was still cheap. We overstocked and we stockpiled so that we'll be okay. So Sony's claiming that they're good for whatever things they got going on that are coming out later or whatever, and they've been working on. They said it's not going to affect their bottom line. So their prices are going to stay competitive, and they're not going to have to pull out warm butter on the consumer. So hopefully that reigns true. Hopefully that can continue. And that is all we got to fucking worry about, because I'm just tired of buying electronics any damn way. But there's rumors of Sony doing the handheld and just so many people doing handhelds. I'm a sucker for Sony handhelds. If they come out with one, I'm mad that I didn't get a Vita. I still might get a Vita. I had a friend who had one, my boy J Love, man, RIP. And, that thing was nice, man. I saw the potential in that device, and I kind of hated what happened to it. It was an awesome system. But I don't think Sony's going to make the same mistake with another handheld if they decide to do a handheld. So I don't know, man. I think it's dangerous if they get a handheld out here, for sure. That's pretty much going to do it. I mean, that's going to be the show. It's a short episode. Like I said, guys, a lot of shit on my plate. I've been working so hard. After I get home from work, man, I've been working on my channels. I have 2 YouTube channels that I'm trying to I'm just grinding away at, which leaves me little to no time for gaming even. I mean, I haven't even really had time to game. So yeah, and that's kind of been a downer for me. I'm not going to lie, because I just really wouldn't want to play and just focus on that. There has not been a day that I can remember that I just woke up and said, you know what, I'm going to play something all day. I'm going to just play this all day. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just going to play this. And I can't remember the last time I did that. So I'm going to get back to that, and, busting my ass now will hopefully segue into that later. So that's what I'm doing. So, you got to pay your dues now. If you want something to happen, you want something to come true, you got to put in the work, and you got to invest in yourself. And I guess that's the lesson of the day, right? If you want to do something, guys, put something behind it, man. For me personally, it's another future investment, and it's another stream of income for me. I'm always trying to create new streams of income. I believe that everybody should have at least more than 2. I mean, I understand that certain scenarios, that can't be possible, but at least 2. If you got a regular job, you should have a backup, or you should have another way to get money. Even if you just have a job and you're not putting it in the bank, you're saying, okay, well, my money's just not going to do anything but sit there in the bank. So instead of putting it in the bank, let me put it in a special fund or somewhere else where I can accumulate interest on it. Whether it's 3%, 4%, it's still better than 0.5, which the bank is giving you, which is basically nothing. So, you always want your money to work for you when you're not working. That's kind of like how I look at it. And, investing, if you have a little money here, a little money there, Amazon, some of your favorite companies, Nike, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. There's a lot of companies out here, guys, that you can invest in, and you can make a good amount return on your money. A lot of these companies are giving you, 15 all the way up to 30, 40%, believe it or not, return on your investment. So That's what I mean. You gotta keep your eye on the prize and figure out these things. And now with me, it's YouTube, these channels. I have 2 channels. I have things I'm passionate about. And that's another thing. Don't do anything that you're not passionate about, because it's always going to fail. You know, if you don't love doing it, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a problem. So, you know, me, first thing I did was, well, I'm a gamer. I love games. I love talking about games. I started my podcast 9 years ago just because I enjoy talking about this stuff, and I just really love the community. And so I decided to go ahead and take that same energy and put it in the channel. And now I'm doing that. And, you know, it's working slowly but surely. And so I'm actually building a brand over there. And I have some other stuff I like too. I like red pill content. I like, you know, talking about that type of situation as a married man and as, you know, somebody who has a family and it believes in a family and believes in, you know, that dynamic. So, you know, I'll talk about that stuff. I did another channel, Great Chin Shinobi, you know, so I started that over there. So I have these 2 channels and I'm just trying to grow them over time. And these are long-term investments, guys. I'm not looking at it as, oh, I have to blow up in a year and that type of thing. No, I'm looking at it as a long term, like years and years and years from now. As I continue to pour into this channel or these channels, they will eventually pay their dividend back. So instead of depending on retirement and the government, and I think we all know that you cannot depend on the government. I never have, and I never will fully depend on them. You have to depend on yourself. And there's things that can be done, and there's things that you can do and set in place that can allow you to be financially free at some point in your life, to where you can do the things you love to do whenever you want to do them. My simple dream is to simply wake up every day and work from home, whether I'm working on videos, whether I'm trading stock, whether I'm making a YouTube video. These are the things that I want, because these are the things I like doing. I like editing videos. I like making videos. I like creating things. I like editing, audio editing. I have a background in that. So these are things that I like to do. Just find things you like to do and monetize it. There's a way to monetize it. If you like sports, if you're into this or that or whatever it is, you can take that and you can monetize that. You can turn it into something. Okay. You can invest in yourself over the long term. Like, be realistic with yourself as well. Don't, if you like basketball, okay, make a channel about basketball, make a podcast about basketball, and know that that channel is not going to most likely do anything for a few years. But as long as you invest in that channel, and as long as you put content out on this channel and or this podcast, it will grow. It will grow over time, and it will manifest into something that could eventually turn into another form of income for you. And then sky's the limit, baby. So just giving you guys a little gem right there. You know, I figure I try to do this every blue moon with my listeners, because guys, this shit is important, right? And what good is video games if you can't afford them, if you can't play them, right? Or if you buy them and then you're fucking flat broke, you have nothing. So it's like, so I'm just trying to create a world where I can thrive and where I can do the things that I love. I'm not trying to become a millionaire or anything like that. I'm not, you know, I just want to be able to earn a comfortable living where my kids do not have to worry and we're comfortable and I can continue to do the things I love. In other words, I don't have to do my current job. You know, whatever your current job is, if it's something it's not your dream job, then you should find a way and you should be working towards making that a afterthought, a stepping stone. That's how I look at it, like that. But if you're just going to work and coming home and going to work and coming home, nothing is going to change unless you change something in that. Nothing else is going to change for you. It's going to stay the same. So if you're saying I want to make more money or I want to create another form of income, but you're just going to work and coming home and you're not doing anything with your money, then it's going to be the same. So if you say, okay, well, I'm going to take 10% and I'm going to put it over here. That's something different. You completely changed. You weren't doing that last week. You weren't doing that last year. You changed that. So you take that and you build off of that and you put up that 10%. And then after maybe, 6 months, you say, oh, I've been taking out 10%. I have this money over here. What do I want to do with this money? You put it in a special account where it accumulates interest. And then you can say, okay, now let's do something different. Let's take that same 10% and instead of putting it over there now, because you got a nice little egg over there, you got a nice little nest over there. Let's move this 10% and let's invest in, let's say, Amazon or the S&P 500, which are the top 500 companies. Okay. You can never go wrong with that. If one of them goes belly up, guess what? They plug in the next one. Okay. And so it's always going to be the top 500. So that is something that will automatically get you, on average, 12% interest on your investment every year. Guys, I'm just telling you, I'm just trying to give you guys some game here if you don't have it. And so on and so forth, guys. After that, something else. And then you get into this frame of mind where you're always thinking, you're always trying to figure out new ways. And then when you get around people who think the same way, it's a beautiful thing because you're kind of bouncing off each other. You know, you have an idea, you have something you might think about, you give it to them and vice versa. And then next thing you know, you guys are rolling on shit. And it's a beautiful thing, man. So I try to preach this stuff a little bit every blue moon to you guys and give you guys a little bit of insight on me, what I'm trying to do. If you guys had any questions or anything like that, I would be more than happy to help you guys. I've done it before with listeners where they just hit me, they DM me or whatever about this type of stuff. And I was more than happy to give them information and where to show them where to start. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of different ways that I could give you. There's apps I could tell you to download and get you started. Simple, something as simple as one app. You know, there's an app called Acorn you can download right now. And you can say, hey, everything that I spend, let me take the nearest quarter and invest that. So if I spend $1 on some bubblegum, it'll take 25 cents and it will invest it into stock. And you can check on it. You can watch the growth. You can see how much you have. And you don't even miss that money. Right. I tell everybody, start there. Just start there and just go from there. That's all I'm saying, guys. You know, we tend to just go and get caught in the matrix and we're caught in the mix and we're just doing our thing and we don't take time to step outside and kind of look at everything around us sometimes. And sometimes that's all it takes. But anyway, I've been rambling. I'm sorry. I love you guys, though. That's why I'm saying the things to you that I'm saying. I feel you guys are special. I feel you guys are my listeners. So I kind of just, if I feel like I know something or I have something to give you, I feel like I need to try to do that. So that's what I did. But let me get off of this. I'm rambling. I'm going to get out of here now, finally. Okay. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, guys, subscribe. Do your boy a favor, subscribe. I keep telling people that. I got a lot of content over there, gameplay. I have discussion videos and shorts and everything in between. If you love gaming and you love this podcast, go over there, subscribe now. Okay. Other than that, guys, that's it. I'm going to get out of here and I will see you guys next week. Like I said before, I love you guys dearly. I hope everybody has a fantastic Thanksgiving and I will see you guys next week. This is your boy Studio MacGyver and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.